mind a deliberate posture that you're going to see God in everything. And you can't do that in the flesh. You can only do that by the grace of the Spirit of God. That's it. That's it. Because guess what? If you're trying to change your eyes will never change. They still crooked. They still cross. You still need glasses. Amen. You can't see. Amen. Yeah, you can't see. What do you need? You need spiritual bifocals in order to see things the way he sees things. Verse 15. What then was the blessing you enjoyed? For I bear you witness that, if possible, you would have plucked out of your own eyes and given them to me. Paul said, guess what? You appreciated me so much that I know that if it was necessary, that you would have taken your own eyes out and given them to me. Why does Paul use the context of eyes? Because many scholars believe that his sight was his major infirmity, his major physical infirmity, right? Y'all remember in Acts the 9th chapter when Paul was knocked off the beast of burden, he was what? Blinded, right? And many people believe that Paul experienced an issue regarding sight throughout his life. Some people also believe that in 2 Corinthians 12th chapter, when Paul says, I prayed 3 times that you remove this infirmity from me, many scholars believe they're talking about his sight. But what was God's response? My grace is sufficient. For my strength, God, is being made perfect in what? Your weakness. Right? See, sometimes we got to experience the weakness in order to have the strength or experience the strength, right? We got to experience our own physical weakness, individual weakness, in order to experience the power of God. But most times we don't have the strength in us to allow ourselves to be what we call weak. How do I know that? Because some of us respond in ways that show your weakness. You're defensive. Got your dukes up all the time. A bully. Not only a bully, but yes, a bully, but not only a bully, right? But from the perspective of always ready to fight. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to always ready to fight, right? Always. We got always a cause, right? Always a cause, right? And really what you show is you show your frailty. When you're always ready to fight, when you're always defensive, what you really show the world is how weak you are. But you think you're presenting a strong posture when everybody in the world sees you and knows that you're weak. You come to fight, and people wondering, why you bring a gun to a debate? you mowing people down, pow, 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 pow. And all we're doing is just talking. Y'all know people like that? Paul says here, I knew you appreciated me so much that even if you had to pluck your own eyes out, I know you'd have gave them to me. Right? How many of us are willing to reduce ourselves to the place where we're willing to serve somebody else, where it may be sacrificial for you? It might cost you something. Even if it costs you your reputation or your thought process about you. See, some of us too high on the pedestal. And guess what we need to do? We need to allow ourselves to be knocked down a couple pegs, right? And I think, personally, that it's important that you do it before the Spirit of God does. Right? And I'm not saying that the Spirit of God is being punitive. What I'm saying is that God will allow you to be exposed to you. God does have the power to show you you. And when he shows you you,
the jig is up.
The jig is up. Right? When he shows you you. But the sad part is when God shows you you and you turn your back on what you see. There's some people who refuse to see what God shows them every day. Amen? Do me a favor. Let's turn. Well, actually, you don't even have to turn. Go to verse 16. And this is going to be where Donette is going to begin to start to read some stuff to us. Right? Now we're moving into what it looks like to walk in the Spirit as opposed to walking in the flesh. Because if we are going to get to a place where we don't go back to what we used to be, we got to call it what it is. Amen? And we got to get in where we fit in. We got to figure out where we fit in. Right? And let's just, we ain't got to do it publicly. Amen? But let's right now, I've asked you all, we ain't thinking about nobody else. We only think about ourselves. Right? Let's look at this list and start to figure out where we fit in. Amen? Y'all feeling strong? Amen. Bless you. Oh, bless you. We're going to go with the grace of God. Amen? Verse 16 says, I say then, walk. Here we go again. That's that word. That's that word. Walk. Are we talking about physically walking? No. We're talking about what? Lifestyle. Peripateo, right? Walk in the, say it loud. Spirit. Walk in the what? Spirit. And you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. The only way that I will not fulfill the lust, the desires, the call of the flesh. Chapter 5, I'm sorry. That's my mistake. I apologize. We in Galatians 5. Galatians 5, verse 16 is where I began to read. Galatians 5, verse 16. Please, I give you my apologies for not saying that first. Right? Galatians 5, verse 16. Are you there? Yes. All right. Bless your heart. Right? He says, I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Right? We will not fulfill the lust of the flesh. We will not enter into, engage in, begin to complete the works of the flesh or the lust of the flesh, the desires of the flesh. The only way that you will not do the lust or complete or fulfill the lust of the flesh is by doing what? Walking in the Spirit. Okay, good. Verse 17. For the flesh lusts against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary to one another, so that you do not do the things that you wish. Now, is that very clear? Right? I want to try to define this from the perspective of hetero and homogeneous solutions, right? A homogeneous solution is a solution where things blend together. Okay? A heterogeneous solution, did I say that right?
No.
Homo means same. Homo means same. Hetero means different. Right? A homogeneous solution blends together. A heterogeneous solution is apart. Oil and water are heterogeneous solutions. Why?
Because that's a reaction. I mean, they'll never
Because oil and water don't mix.
Right.
Oil and water don't mix. Right? Whereas water and salt are what? A homogeneous solution.
Because they're melted.
Because they do what?
They work together.
They work well. Salt melts into water,
Right.
right? And you can't see it. The only thing you can do is taste it, right? Water becomes salty. But you can't see that water is salty before you taste it, right? Because they blend together, right? Is the flesh and the spirit homogeneous or heterogeneous? The flesh and the spirit don't mix. The flesh and the spirit will never mix. There will never be a platform upon which you can say, I'm walking in the flesh and the spirit at the same time. I'm glad. Because really, in the Christian life, it can be confusing. Because I walk as a physical being. So how can I ever not live in my flesh while I'm walking? Glad you asked. The way that I am not led by my flesh, even though I'm walking, is that my spirit is guiding me. So, what trumps the direction of my flesh? My spirit should, right? Am I making sense? Or am I confused, right? What trumps the direction of my flesh? My spirit should, right? My spirit should. My spirit should tell my flesh where to go. My spirit should tell my feet where to go. Right? My spirit should tell my eyes where to look. Right? Hey, my spirit should tell my hands what to do. My spirit should tell my mouth what to say. Right? Right? My spirit should be leading my flesh, right? But recognize this and always remember this, that the flesh and the spirit, they do what with each other? They war against each other. So are they buddies? Are they friends? Are they good old pals? Right? Do they